Alright, a couple of things I'd like to mention. There is what is called Sarafan radio in Russia. So this is when you don't report anything on the media, but mouth by mouth the word gets spread around, and without any advertisement, without anything, things become known just because people spreading them verbally. And no matter what you write to me in your fucking comment section, pretending to be my friends, no matter how many likes your comments receive, fake likes, fake friends, you know, the word gets spreaded around that you British freaks are responsible for this current Ukraine-Russia conflict, and you are being hated. And this headline, people are dropping like flies. British children lie in hospital on drips beside worried parents after sickness sweeps five-star Turkish resort. Multiple families fall ill at TUI holiday destination where dozens suffered food poisoning over Easter. Yeah, British freaks, from now on, you shouldn't travel anywhere. Sit on your little island and wait till you go underwater. Make it right with whatever higher power you believe in before you go underwater. From now on, don't travel anywhere because you are going to get this stomach flu, bloody diarrhea, sudden car accident. Your kids are also off limits, because word got spread out. Who is really responsible for this Ukraine war? Okay, so you just might get sunburn. Okay, anyways, the lightning might also hit you, when you pose for the photo, and you're gonna get into a car accident, or a snake is going to bite you, or you're gonna drop off the cliff, when you are hiking. Okay, you're gonna get drowned en masse. Groups of you are going to get drowned, and you might just get a sunburn. Okay, sunburn is what you might get. So don't worry, I'm just kidding you. That's a joke. That's a joke and a Photoshop. It's a deep fake. We only have 2 tanks left. So another interesting incident that they are not going to tell you about, that happened in the end of May. At the center of Spy Detective is a mystery tragedies which happened on the lake of Maggiore in Italy. During a trip on a steamboat, 2 members of local special services, ex-agent of Mossad, and a Russian woman died. The steamboat with 23 passengers got into a strong storm and turned upside down, capsized, leaving 4 people with no chance of survival. Among the survivors were 2 members of Italian Special Forces, ex-agent of Mossad Israel, and spouse of Captain named Anna Bashkova from Bryansk. Or maybe she was Ukrainian, for real. Edition of Corriere della Sera, which is Italian newspaper, reports that on the board of the steamboat there were only members of reconnaissance services, which decided to take a short break after several missions and meetings. In spite of this, it is not clear what is meant by this, but this region is known as to be the location for Mossad, Israeli intelligence, due to material technical basis of Israel reconnaissance. Now Mossad demands from Italy clarifications in regards to what has happened. One of the unofficial versions is that the trip on the lake was not planned and it happened only after meeting of the agents of Italy and Israeli Special Secret Service. Corriere della Sera newspaper also reports that the court expert did not conduct any post-mortem examination, as the cause of death was obvious. Yeah. However, local investigators are focused on investigating the actions of the captain of the steamboat, against whom the case was opened in manslaughter. So now I'd like to talk about this Elon Musk character, and I wanted to say that I wonder how people look at his photo and don't see the obvious uncanny resemblance to that character, which is of course more repulsive, called Prince William, but this one is only slightly more attractive because he was carried by obviously Asian surrogate. So Prince William was carried by some Ukrainian or white surrogate, some inbred POS, but this one obviously his eye shape shows that he is white, but he was put inside the surrogate, which is Asian, and that's the only difference. Most likely some Japanese person carried him. So of course it's a Windsor, and of course this black bow tie shows that he's MI6, MI5, whatever. So I just wanted to express my opinion that he doesn't invent anything, he doesn't design or build anything, because all those lizards are inbred and they have no fucking clue about real discoveries or real talent, real inspiration that of course comes from the divine power, and it is part of good karma. The lizards don't have any good karma on them. So anyways, I wanted to say that he really owns all these plants, factories with very heavy machinery, and they will lie that he flies into space, puts cars, Tesla cars in there, and that he is about electric cars and whatnot. But the real thing is that it's just a lizard, an in vitro lab creature from Windsor eggs and Windsor semen, the European aristocracy, and his biography is fake. That he comes from South Africa is fake. Of course I know where he comes from. Of course I know. Don't think that when I tell you where he comes from, I don't know his official biography. So all these plants, all this heavy machinery really exists. but they are not flying into space. Okay, they are not flying into space. So this is just a disguise, and all of these things that he has, are due to other stuff. So if they say that they are flying high up and he has some satellites and computer chips and whatnot, that means that you should look in the opposite direction. Anything they say, you should look in the opposite direction. So basically, there is a rumor going around that what his plants and the machinery are about is not about flying into space, it's digging holes, it's digging underground tunnels. That's the equipment that he owns. This is what he does, and it's really not in the air, it's underground. What he does is underground. So basically what happened with this story about Secret Service, in my opinion, is that this motherfucker dug a tunnel, and this tunnel connects cities in Europe, just like there are tunnels that connect cities in the United States and everywhere else. So anyways, Russian army hit with a caliber missile their bunker where a lot of NATO high-ranking officials from the military died. And I think that what they did, they were trying to evacuate those who survived through these underground tunnels. That's how they ended up at the bottom of the lake, and they tried to disguise this shit as an accident. Okay, so that's how they are explaining all these deaths and survivors who are now in the hospital in Italy somewhere.